Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020, and the third season at Ajax is about to begin. This will be our final season at the club, and as always it has been an incredibly frustrating transfer window. I was hoping to do the bare minimum amount of business this season if we could, just bring in an absolute high quality striker, and to be fair we've brought in more than one high quality striker, but it's not quite gone the way that I wanted it to go. So at the start of the season I just needed to bring in a top striker, and I put in a bid for Erling Haaland, £95 million, and that was accepted. It was then accepted at contract level, and then Dortmund went in with an even better contract offer, and Erling Haaland decided to stay. Now the frustrating thing about that was, as soon as I had the offer accepted, I got an offer from Arsenal for Edouard for £80 million, which was too good to refuse, and so he was sold for £80 million because that was such a big amount of money. As expected, Ruben Dias's buyout clause was triggered by Spurs, so he's left for bang on £60 million in cash. Daley Blind has gone. We got a £26.5 million bid for him from West Ham, and I just thought that's silly money, so he has also left, which is a shame because he was a great left back, but 31-year-old player, that's too much money to keep him around. Raz van Marin has gone for £11 million. Wasn't really in the team, was out on loan I think last season. No, he was just in the reserve team last season, so he's gone as well. Baba Rahman gone for 10 million, Quincy Promes for 4 million, and then a few other players exiting too. Fabio Silva has gone to Vitesse on loan because he's not quite ready to come in, but we've signed quite a few players. So the big one, Gabriel Jesus for £60 million. He is the world-class striker we were after. He can play the advanced forward but also the false nine role, so he's an excellent one to bring in. Done well for Man City when he has played, just struggling for chances. Sebastian Esposito, the next player, the 19-year-old, again can be advanced forward or a false nine, plays well in both roles, good finishing stats, great stats across the board really, and as a 19-year-old he's been doing very well, 8 goals and 24 in the league for Inter Milan. He will do well in this league. Junior Firpo we also knew about, coming in that wing-back role at left-back, hoping he can do a job. Jose Juan Macias, the next player in, he is an advanced forward who is next level good. He's been doing extremely well. I've been tracking him for a while. Signed for Benfica for 9.5. We've now snapped him up for 30. He'll be snapped up by somebody else for 60-70 million in no time. So we've got 3 great strikers coming into the team now, which is really going to help get us to that next level. Sayonchu joining as well, not quite as highly rated by my assistant manager as he is by me, but that will certainly help. Now the other developments at the moment, David Neres is on his way out of the club. PSG have put in a £69 million bid, which is above the asking price, so he is now gone. Otherwise he's going to be extremely unhappy. I'm looking to bring in another left back, Jose Gaia, coming in for up to 60 million. He seems like a really good player to bring in, ready-made, can be the first team choice, Firpo as the backup. And we're just desperate to bring somebody in that position because we only have one left back right now. And then we've also got Onana, desperate to move away from the club. We rejected a bit of bid from Spurs, and so he's not happy. He wants to leave, and it's still just absolute turmoil at the club, and it's proven very difficult to keep people around, which is always the challenge when you take on a team like Ajax. Now going into this game against PSV, we're not in the best shape. We have Leon Bailey on international duty with Jamaica. We have Alvarez on international duty with Mexico. I think that's the Copa America or similar, which is causing the problems. Dest is injured, Macias is injured, so we're a bit thin on the ground. We could promote some players out the reserve team, but I'm not too worried. We're basically still in pre-season for this game against PSV. But we're going to have the unhappy Onana in goal with Mazraoui, Torres and Pieri in defence. Firpo at left back, then Barrow and Bellingham in the centre. Oh, by the way, we rejected a £90 million bid for Gravenberch this season. Manchester United coming in for him. He's going nowhere. And actually I'm going to start him today ahead of Barrow because we need one top quality player in the team. Jesus is going to start with Esposito up front. I think this is probably the best way round to get the most out of the players. Whether that will continue when Macias comes back, I think it will be Jesus and Macias up front in the future. Cliver and Zaracho both start on the wings. People interested in signing Kluivert as well this season, and up to now we've been rejecting those offers, but we'll have to wait and see what we want to do there. But yeah, really interesting time. So let's jump in here. We're going to see what we can do in this final season, but it is the final season with Ajax. We're going to see if we can have a good European run. There's a lot of money still to be spent. We've got a huge amount in the bank. So we're going to go out here, see how we perform against PSV, where we need to strengthen. I mean, again, the core 11 is pretty good. I'm really not worried about the core 11. When we get our players back from international duty, back from injury, we're going to be in great place. When we bring Gaia in, we'll be in a great place. But we just maybe need a little bit of strength in depth as Esposito heads down to Mazraoui into Jesus. That's how you do it. You sign a player for 60, 70 million pounds and he scores less than a minute into his debut. He is going to be an absolute stone cold killer this season. I have no doubt about that. If Dusan Tadic can do it, Gabriel Jesus certainly can. Mazraoui put the ball in. Jesus with the header. Just a very good goal from the team. And we have that 1-0 lead. The Dutch Super Cup could well be heading back to Amsterdam quicker than we thought. But Mazraoui now getting an injury, which isn't ideal. We don't have a lot of players who can play in this position, so I'm actually going to move Pieri out there and put Sayuncu in, because I think maybe we need Sayuncu at right back unless Pau Torres can do anything. No, we're going to put Sayuncu in at right back. He can do a little bit of a job out there for us. Not ideal. Dest and Mazraoui now both out injured. And you can see that subs bench a little bit limited. Probably going to have to promote some of the young players back up just to fill out that bench for the Eredivisie season. But here come PSV. Kluivert has won it off them. He's charging in at the box. It's well saved. Esposito picking up the loose ball, the 19-year-old, but it's cleared out for a goal kick. But we do have the advantage, 1-0 at the moment. Corner from Gravenberch gets put in, and Pau Torres with the powerful header at the near post. And we are 2-0 up. I mean, it's a really strong team, as much as I'm complaining about a lot of players being snapped up by the big dogs that I'd like to have kept. Ruben Diaz for sure. I'm very frustrated that he's gone. I'm really not worried about Edouard going. Gabriel Jesus coming in is definitely an upgrade. It's just a shame we didn't get Haaland. If I could have got Haaland in, I think I probably could have kept a lot of other players, because it would have been such a big signing. But unfortunately, he rejected that contract offer and signed a new one with Dortmund for less money than we offered him. That's the prestige of the club that becomes so important. Here's Bellingham over the top, finds Esposito. He gets past his man. He's charging in. It's off the post. Very close there for Esposito to giving us our third goal, and one for him on his debut. Sayuncu with the throw. Cleared away. Marlon back to Viergever, but Esposito has it. Zaracho puts the ball in. It's cleared away, but only to Kluivert. Shot blocked. Bellingham, shot blocked. And the ball is cleared away. Jude Bellingham also unhappy because he wants 180k a week, even though he's barely a first team player at this point. So he's also unhappy, won't sign a new contract. Zaracho gets in. Kluivert with the header, it's saved and cleared away. But there's a lot of unhappiness in the squad, and that's fine for 1, 2, maybe even 3 players. You can get away with that unhappiness. You can force them to stay at the club. But when you've got 7 or 8 unhappy, that really starts to impact the performance of the team. So you have to start letting some of the players go, and that's a real frustration with Ajax that I'm feeling at the moment. But we are winning, still winning many competitions. 2-0 win here at half time. We just need to get through this second half. We've got good options on the bench as well. Sayuncu with the throw in. Jesus is there, but it's over the top from him. I'm sure he's going to get a lot more goals this season. You know, Anthony can do that job in the false 9. We've obviously got Osimhen on the bench, Lucas Moura, Barrow, Neres. It's a really strong squad that we've got. When we get those players back from injury and international as well, we'll be in a good place. So Nana takes a good catch there. Looks to bring it out. Sent forward. There's Zaracho. Nearly lost the ball there. Managed to scramble to keep it. Here's Bellingham. Tackle goes in, and now Mauro Junior coming forward for PSV. Ball over the top. Marlon in behind the fullback, but he can't bend it round the post, and so it remains 2-0. No real threat from this PSV team for us. It's going to be another one of those seasons, I think, in the Eredivisie, although Zaracho now has a knock, so we might want to just take him off, probably put Lucas Moura on. I don't want to risk an injury to Neres, although it might not be the worst thing in the world if he fails a medical and has to stay at the club, but Not long left to see out in the game. We can maybe make another substitute, give Aussie men a bit of time for Esposito up top. Just a couple of minutes left. Good that Aussie men did get a goal towards the end of last season, got his account open, and there you go. Another bit of silverware in the bag. We need to win as many trophies as we can. That's the idea behind this save. Go around Europe and potentially the world, picking up as many trophies as we possibly can. And this is a pretty good start. This player looks pretty decent. Good false nine as well. Currently at Zurich. Looks like he could be a very good player to keep an eye on there. Scouting team picking out a very good potential future player for us. But we have won another piece of silverware. Another friendly to go, and then we will kick off the season against PEC's Wall. And then the next time we come back will probably be in the Champions League. So let's go ahead, see out up to the Zwolle game and see if we can bring in a few more signings. The transfer window continues to be pretty crazy as we go into our first league game of the season against PEC's Wall. If we drop back to the history of the transfers for the season, you can see David Neres has gone to PSG, £69 million. A very good deal for him, but he is a fantastic player. He's going to be really missed. That 8.06 rating, saying it all really. Is going to be very hard to replace, although I've got a couple of players potentially coming into the team. I'm just checking nobody else has left. It doesn't look like it. A few players out on loan. Other players to come in. Harry Wilson, the main one, £16 million. He's not a fantastic player, but he's done reasonably well out on loan from Liverpool, and I thought, he's going to fit the team quite well. He's an inside forward and winger, and he can just do a rotation job for us, and we can probably sell him for a profit given he was only £16 million. We've also got Alan St. Maximin potentially coming into the club. Now he is slightly better because we do play the inverted or inside forward and a winger, so he can fulfill both roles at 19 dribbling, and his physicals extremely important for what we're looking for, and he's pretty solid in the greens, so I think he could be a decent option for us. He quite often develops into a very good player in his latter years in my experience, so we're not looking for instant first team players necessarily, but we want to put that strength and depth back into the team, and you can see some of it starting to come back now. We're going to start today with Esposito and Jesus up front for us, with Cliver and Anthony on the wings. Gaia not quite fit enough, Bailey not quite fit enough, so they're not starting. Dest not fit enough, but Bauer and Gravenberch will start in the centre, with Firpo, Sayuncu, Torres and Schurz making up the back four. Onana in goal. Potentially going to look at maybe bringing in a goalkeeper, because I'm a little bit annoyed at Onana being unhappy at us rejecting a £30 million bid from Spurs for him. But hopefully it's not going to impact the team too much. I did have a slight player revolt ahead of this game, but I managed to deal with all but Osimhen up front, who I'm not worried about. He's barely going to play this season. A bit of a failed transfer, that one. But you can see Jesus here across to Anthony, charging forward straight through the middle, pushed out to the right wing. He seems to be pretty well placed to take on that winger role out on the right. So I'm not sure he's going to play very much up top unless we choose to put him in that false nine role, but he seems to be more than capable of doing a job out on the right. And here's Gravenberch played through into Esposito, and he scores on his Eredivisie debut. A good assist from Ryan Gravenberch, who I'm expecting to be our linchpin player this season. Anthony on the run, good swap of positions between these two. Gravenberch then gets in, and Esposito at the near post does get his first goal for the club. A very nice one as well, the 19-year-old getting us off to an excellent start to our season. I'm expecting a lot of goals from him, a lot of goals from Jesus as well. Junior Firpo here with the long throw, just cleared away before it could come down. Barrow out to Junior Firpo, puts it in. Jesus down to Cliver, saved, back across, and they do just about get the ball here. Although we've won it again, Barrow with it. Can maybe play it forward. He does. Jesus is in. It's off the post and off the keeper and out for a corner. But we're looking very dangerous here. Sayuncu over the top. We are really hammering PEC's wall here. Ball in again. Saved by Van der Steen. But we are... I mean, look at those stats. We are absolutely dominant right now. Gravenberch with the ball. beats his man, charging through, still growing Gravenberch, he's doing it himself, and he gets a shot on target at the end of it, not quite able to get the goal. But you feel like it's only a matter of time right now. Fleming out wide to Margaret. Firpo wins the ball, finds Jesus, who finds Kluivert. He can charge forward. Ball through to Esposito, and the keeper committed early with the dive and managed to get a hand on it to tip it over. Corner from Gravenberch. Puts it in, cleared away. Barrow's out there to try and do something with it. Plays it into Esposito, but there's a flag up there. So not only was it saved, but it was also offside. Another throw in here. Be nice to get that second goal. Perchers puts the ball in, and Esposito's there. It's saved. Anthony can't finish. Kluivert back in. It's cleared away again, and there's a free kick for an offside. I don't think we need to check the goal line technology for that one, Football Manager. Here is another throw from Perchers. Long one in. Esposito's there. He knobs it on. Defender does it to get it away properly. Gravenberch to Jesus to Kluivert. And there it is, Justin Kluivert with the goal. He is starting to really develop a little bit. Again, another one of those players that develops. Even though the assistant manager might think that he's reached his full potential, that's not the case. I can see him getting 20 goals this season and doing really well out on that flank if he's playing there all year. But that's a very good finish in at the near post. Hard and low. Assist for Gabriel Jesus as well. Going to expect to see quite a few assists for Jesus this season. He's not going to want to be at the club for very long. Ball in from Anthony, cleared away. Esposito is out there. Just blocked off. Runs for Sayuncu. Now Firpo over the top, cleared back. Kluivert cutting inside, beats his man, and an easy save for Van der Steen in goal. Now, one of the things I've noticed is that nobody's come in to try and sign me as a manager. I don't know how hard it's going to be for me to get my next job. And there's a question of whether I resign from Ajax and apply for my next job, or if I just apply for it. I don't think Ajax would sack me for applying for bigger jobs if they become available in the summer, because there'll be 2 windows next season. There will be obviously the end of season sackings, but then there will also be the change from the World Cup, which will happen a little bit later. So it might be worth potentially hanging on to my contract and keep seeing what I can do with Ajax until a job becomes available. But here's Jesus spinning the centre-back, charging through on goal, Jesus, and burying it as well. His first Eredivisie goal gives us our 3rd of the day. That's exactly what we wanted from him. That's the kind of thing that Edouard didn't really do last season. You see the false 9 do it more, and Jesus has the pace as well, charging through and finishing brilliantly into that far corner for 3-0. I'd be disappointed if he didn't get 30 goals this season, and I'd expect 30 goals from the other position alongside him across the other players too. Probably more than that, really. Probably maybe 40 each, actually. But team doing very well, absolutely dominant. We haven't even conceded a shot, let alone a shot on target, which shows the increased strength. We're also doing it with a slightly lopsided defence with Perchers not up to scratch. And here's Chirino, ball in, cleared away, but Margaret has scored with their first shot of the game. That's what I get for tempting fate. Zwolle have ruined the clean sheet that Onana was looking to keep, and they potentially have a route back into the game now. Chirino with the ball in from the byline, and there Pau Torres not quite clearing it properly, and on the volley Margaret with a very good finish there, Reconnell Margaret, which makes it 3-1. Now here's Sayuncu, forward to Jesus. Barrow, round the corner to Gravenberch. He plays it out wide, Anthony doesn't get there. Fleming comes to Darfalau. Lehmans just playing little triangles here. Anthony trying to win the ball, doesn't quite get there. That's what Leon Bailey does so well when he's available. Clement over to Lehmans. Ball over the top, Firpo's won it, and now Jesus round the corner for Kluivert. He's got players to his right. Kluivert can't finish, he still has it, and it's taken away from him. And it's probably time to make a few substitutions, I think. Perchers, I don't think we can really bring anybody on for him. He's going to have to stay out with a broken leg. Gravenberch can come off though for sure. And we can maybe put Jude Bellingham in for a bit of game time. Anthony can come out. Leon Bailey does need a bit of match fitness, but I think we'll go with Harry Wilson today. And we'll just start with these two. Harry Wilson making his debut. Obviously we have Lucas Moura. We are absolutely stacked with players in those wing roles, especially if we do bring in Alan Saint-Maximin as well. With Leon Bailey coming back from injury and Zaracho able to play up there, it's an absolutely stacked team. And it makes me wonder, I don't really know what else to strengthen. There's no world-class players who I can just sign and slot into the team. They just aren't available, so it'd just be more of what we've already got, and I just think we maybe need to hang on to what we have at this point. Here's Wilson though, inside to Jesus, is blocked, Barrow to Clivert. Barrow probably should have shot himself there, and he may well have scored. The keeper had too much time to get up. We'll just make another change. Who do we want to bring on? Not too bothered, to be honest. Maybe Esposito could have a little run out, see if he can... Osimhen can have a run out in place of Esposito, see if he can get a late goal. Doesn't look like it. Free kick though for Wilson. Ball into the far stick. Pau Torres is there, and Pau Torres does get the goal. He makes it 4-1 and just finishes up a nice away win for us to start the season. Very good header from him. Second of the season for him already. And Harry Wilson with the assist on his debut as well. Very good, very dominant performance from the team. And we are really off the mark now with a very good performance. Gravenberch set to get his pay increase. I'm assuming he doesn't want a new contract. Oh, he does want a new contract, which he can very happily have. I don't know why his wages are only going up to 21k a week, but we'll definitely tie him up for a bit longer. Probably worth a lot more money than what we've just offered him as well. But that is going to be it for today's episode. It's been another quite good one, a little bit frustrating in the transfer market, but we've got a lot of time left until that window slams shut. And you can see we've had a very good pre-season as well. Only 2 goals conceded all pre-season to now. And we'll do a good run through these games and probably pick up at the Champions League group stage to see who we've been drawn. So if you enjoyed this, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel. But until next time, see ya.